It's the Jay Thomas Show. Christopher Gabriel in for my buddy. It's 4:10. And, I am in Mexican food heaven right now. And I'm going to tell you why. With all due respect to the places in town, and they serve Mexican food. And Greek places serve Greek food. But then, when you come to the Gabriel household, you get real Greek food. You get real gyros and souvlaki and spanakopita and teropita and diplas and so on. You get the real deal. We don't mess around. When you go to some of the delis around the country, you get baklava, but it's not baklava. They might as well call it baklava. Okay? You go to my house and you get mama koustis from the old Spartan region of Greece. You get that recipe. Similar to that is Mexican food. And friends of mine have told me over the years, if you go to Mexico, you're going to have Mexican food. It's going to taste completely different than the food that you have here. The closest I've gotten to truly great, authentic Mexican food would be when I've gone to places like Chama in New Mexico, little tiny villages way off of Route 25, and just little tiny 4-table places with mama and papa in the kitchen, and they're bringing out sopapillas that are the size of your head, and they're bringing out blue corn enchiladas that are just everything's grown right there. That's food. What also is food is what I'm eating right now, and I have got the Gomez brothers. I have got Raul. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, Christopher, how you doing?
I love. You got kind of sort of like the whole Clint Eastwood thing going on.
Do I?
Yeah, a little bit, little bit.
Thank you.
And then I've got your brother Octavio. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Folks, if you haven't figured this out yet, we're calling ourselves the Taco Brothers, right?
That is correct.
Yes, we are.
I love that. You guys have a truck that you are serving some kick-butt food out of downtown Fargo.
Yeah.
And there was a story in the forum about it, or the High Plains Reader, or pretty much everybody. Everybody's talking about you guys now. And I said, I got to get these guys on Jay's show. I want to know, growing up, what was it like in the Gomez household that got you involved with food?
Well, our parents owned a Mexican grocery store, and my brother and I were home alone a lot, and that led us to a lot of experimentation with food. We'd sit at home and, what do we want to make? And we'd have all these Mexican groceries, authentic Mexican groceries, a lot of these imported directly from Mexico by way of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd just sit there and we'd make stuff up. We'd always had a love of food in our home, Our grandmother, our mother, our father, they all had these different recipes that they passed down by word of mouth and by example. And we've ended up, coming full circle again. We each went into our own careers, and there was something really that called us back to food.
Well, I do know, because as you're talking, I'm sitting here thinking, just talk for about 20 minutes, would you please? Because I'm eating some of this. Octavio, that's really neat. I think people who grew up in Mexican households, people who grew up in Greek and Italian households, there's a community of food, is there not?
There really is.
And that's what you guys had growing up, and you are now bringing forth right now. Before we go further, tell people what I'm stuffing my face with, because this is absolutely fantastic.
That's the Vikingo, and Raul brought the Vikingo back from his last trip to Mexico.
Okay.
Well, we love Mexican food. There's a place for it, and it's a bastardized version of what Mexican food is. But now we thought we'd do the same thing. The hot dog went to Mexico, and it got a bacon wrap, and then some pico, and some sour cream sriracha, and it's come back a better dog.
It is
stronger. It's now a Mexi dog.
And let me tell you, and I was telling Raul and Octavio, thank the good Lord of food and otherwise above that I like it, because when they brought the food down, I thought, if I don't like this, I can't lie. I'd be like, well, yeah, something. But it is so good. I just sucked down one of these. Give me the name again.
Vikingo. It means Viking in Spanish.
You know what's really cool is that
it's a Viking dog.
Are you 100% Mexican?
100% Mexican.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When you say Vikingo, it's kind of what's cool is that somebody like me goes Vikingo. But isn't it true though, Octavio, that if you're Greek, when you say spanakopita, gyros, teftadas, and
you know that they're talking about a food they know what it tastes like.
Exactly. So tell me about from the upbringing with your parents, and they besides the love they gave you as their sons, the love of food, being community. Then you and your brother are here, and I just talking with you guys. Obviously, have a great relationship. How did this germinate?
Well, we were just checking out the view from Raul's new apartment. He was just purchasing a building on Broadway on 124 8th Street. And
I heard he actually had 2 floors that he bought and then renovated the whole thing for himself.
Pretty much. I have most of the main floor. It's all mine.
Outstanding.
We're looking out the window, and the new NDSU building had just been built across the street, Berry Hall.
Berry Hall, okay.
And there was a continuous bus route that was going there. Every 10 minutes there was a bus coming. Another bus was already waiting in its place. The students were just packing off of these things. Some of them were just waiting on the benches there, and I said, Raul, look at this. And he's like, I know. It's just...
Yeah, it's an
something
opportunity waiting to happen.
Yeah, and it's funny because as we were talking about this, so you're looking at the bus stop, you're seeing students, you're seeing traffic, you're seeing neighborhood traffic, and you're thinking, we know food, we make food, we've got family recipes, we've got things that we have learned to do on our own. We could transpose this into dollars.
Yeah. And we're always, I think...
And culture.
Doing something for the sake of doing it right.
Yes.
We've always gone, and as soon as a new restaurant opens, we'll always go and try it, talk about it. And, it's just nice to be able to do something our own way, in a way that's, kind of our own style, and bring that to the table. And, not go out looking to try and make something satisfy us. Make it ourselves and make it great.
And that's what I so appreciate about this. And I contacted Raul on Facebook last night privately, and I said, listen, this is my background. This kind of food, not Mexican food, but this is my background doing this, because when I was in New York for so many years, one of the things I did when I was, besides being a sous chef, was I cooked out of trucks. I cooked out of little stands. And in New York, and we're going to bring this forward to Fargo, in New York, it's a way of life. You go, and you're not just eating crap. You've got, shrimp scampi and unbelievable falafel and hummus and chicken dishes and lobster, and it just goes on and on. And it's especially on 6th Avenue, uptown. When you look at 6th Avenue near Radio City Music Hall, it's carts everywhere. So as we roll this into Fargo, gentlemen, this is what excites me about this, because we had Jason Spies here earlier, who's doing the Rolling Stove out in Dickinson. But you guys, it's a little bit of a different purpose what he's doing. You guys are doing this, and I think there's a real culture behind what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's our history, too. It's our family that's going into all this that we're doing, and we kind of have something to show for. If we mess this up,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll call my father, and I'll tell him that I'm going to be introducing tacos al pastor next week. And he's like, how are you going to make tacos al pastor? Do you have the rotating? Do you have the rotator? He's like,
there's a vertical rotisserie, it's kind of like a gyro.
Yes, okay.
And instead of mutton, you'd use pork.
Okay.
It's marinated pork. And on top of this big pork, roll, you have a pineapple core, and that sits there and it drizzles all over.
They're naturally happy together.
Oh yeah, they're best friends.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, in nature, pigs and
just works out that way. Yeah.
So yeah, and then there's a guy that in Mexico, you'll have a person that's extremely talented cook. He'll be sitting there churning this thing and watching it, and then he'll take a little slice of the outside that's almost crispy like bacon, because it's a kind of a fattier cut of pork, and so it gets really, really tasty. And then he takes a snip of the pineapple, and it's almost like he catches it with a taco.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an art form.
I'm breaking a sweat thinking about this. Folks, we're visiting with the Taco Brothers. We're visiting with Raul and Octavio Gomez. These could be, Octavio, coming from a theater background, could be a phenomenal Shakespearean name.
I've always been told how my name is very unique. And I've met another person because my father named me after himself, but other than that, I haven't met another Octavio.
Well, I will tell you that and I know that both of you will probably sleep easier knowing this. In the 3 years and a week that I've been doing this program here in Fargo, you're the first Raul as a guest.
Really?
You're the first Octavio as a guest.
Yeah.
There you go.
Taco Brothers.
Slapping some skin right there. So tell me a little bit. So to bring this to fruition, you got a truck. Did you get a truck that was already outfitted with equipment, or did you have to kind of tailor it to yourselves?
We thought about doing that initially. We had been looking at a truck that we were going to try and outfit ourselves, but time is slipping past us, and there's not that much time to be able to do this kind of cooking in North Dakota weather. So it was either we lose half our summer trying to outfit a truck, or we get one that's already done. And I think that we made the right choice. We've been getting tons of great business.
Feedback that I've got, the feedback that I've heard about from your food, and now that I can speak to it myself, and you've now got a big fan, It's been 100% positive. Across the board. So let's talk about some of the specifics of the food in there. You're both working it. Is anybody else working with you?
Yeah, we've got our family pulled in there. My mom's helping out.
Everybody's
my sister's
coming
working the Facebook, and my niece is taking orders at the concessions.
And you know what? We have a phrase on my program, "Family First," and I think that is so cool because in that sense, you want to make money, but it's not always about the money. It's about the togetherness. We do family, whether it's Easter or Thanksgiving or Rosh Hashanah or whatever it happens to be, and this is family too. It's another version of community, is it not?
It's an easy group of people when you're in a 20-foot trailer.
You have to be pretty close to be able to tolerate each other in that small amount of space.
That's right. And that's right. Everybody knows their boundaries. Raul, tell me some of the things. Tell us some of the things that are on the menu.
Okay, well,
and take your time.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
we started off wanting to do tacos. The simple idea of doing tacos. So we came up with a couple different recipes for meat. We have our ground beef and our chicken, but we also wanted to do flour tortillas. In Mexico, we don't eat a lot of flour tortillas. They have them there. They're around.
Because I prefer corn generally.
Corn is
because
more traditional.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, that's fine.
So many places I go, flour are just done really poorly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and flour has been introduced by the conquistadores, the people that came to Mexico. Corn is native to Mexico, and flour is not.
Right.
So
that's a key point, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still, food is an ongoing conversation. It changes. It grows. It mutates. Mm-hmm. And so we've taken the same cues. The flour tortilla, it's here to stay. So we've started. We've done our own little tweaks on it. We've done butter fried flour tortilla, and it's almost like an ufta taco. It puffs up. It's delicious. It's flaky. It's beautiful.
And that was because one of our customers kept coming in
nice.
and asking for a butter fried.
That's
flour
right. That's
tortilla.
kudos to Big Mike. We're calling it the Big Mike on our
nice.
menu.
Very nice.
Right. We do a butter fried corn tortilla, and that's just crispy and delicious, and gives that nice little golden brown flaky texture to it. And so you can have that with chicken or beef. And then we said, Mike keeps on coming back here, and he keeps on ordering this thing, and I'm like, for science, I gotta try this.
For science.
Exactly.
And, we love food experimentation. We're always doing it. We're always like, what does that taste like? Or let's put some of this over here.
Yeah.
So we're open, to our friends giving us suggestions, and we like the idea. Actually thinking about having some kind of, having our customers give input, and we'll make a taco.
But they have been requesting traditional Mexican dishes as well that we're hoping to bring in.
What is it, as you move forward, because, you've been doing it now for how long?
7 days.
7 days. Yeah.
7 days, and it's catching on already.
Oh, God, yes.
But like I said, I am as big a foodie as they come. And, which is one of the reasons why with some of the sponsors on this particular, on my program, are food-oriented. As you move forward and you get more successful and more people start coming to you, the first thing that comes to mind is the danger of expanding too much too fast. I'm guessing it's something you've talked about.
Oh, yeah. Aki, you want to talk to that?
The thing is, every day that me and my brother were doing this, starting from the day that we started over at the Cruising Broadway,
mm-hmm.
we were like, we don't have enough pants. And
we're constantly going out to the store and getting.
And then, we ran out of tamales after the third day, and we're like, we did not make enough tamales. We made 12 dozen.
Now you do tamales with corn, though, right?
Yes,
corn flour. Okay.
Yeah,
we
make them from scratch.
Nice.
There's
everything. We have two different kinds of tamales styles. One is a guatemalteco, which is from Guatemala region. It's not like your average tamale that you just see kind of rolled over in the shape of like a triangle.
Tell me how it's different.
This one here is actually, it looks like a unicorn horn.
Okay, all right.
And it's braided with black bean and tamale dough.
Really?
So it spirals upward, and it's only from the region of Guatemala. But since I have so many vegetarians coming, I've decided to be able to have a vegan type of an approach making for people. My grandfather was a vegetarian, so we learned a lot about vegetarian cuisine growing up.
You had the best of a lot of different worlds here, and in our Gabby Lounge, that's our online chat room on WDAY.com. Mr. Ingenuity's weighing in saying, CG, multiple trucks, Moorhead and Fargo?
We haven't thought about expansion that intensely yet, but
my son's only 10 years old, and then I have a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. Maybe when they get a little older, I mean,
but I mean,
growing
it absolutely
family.
could. If the possibility's there, I mean, we're trying to keep up with truck number one.
Sure,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to call it.
If
now,
it was
truck
growing,
number
if it was growing, yeah, as this fast, and it was a human, it would have stretch marks all over. Because
That's fantastic.
we have no idea how much more clientele we're going to get the next day, and that we've tried to
Going
prepare
over
for
every
it.
time.
We've been doubling our rice and bean, and every day we're like, oh my god, we need more rice and beans.
Can we keep you a little longer?
Sure.
Excellent. All right, because we take a pause. We're visiting with Raul and Octavio Gomez. They are the Taco Brothers. And, folks, I'm not making some sort of off-color joke. They
picked that name.
They are the Taco Brothers. And, yeah, I'm eating here something again. Give me the name again.
This is a Vikingo.
Vikingo. It's
Or
fantastic.
we call it the Mexidad.
And I'm just trying to be like Raul when I say it that way, just because I love the way he says it, and it's fantastic. I cannot wait to try more. We're going to talk more with the boys in just a second. You're listening to the Jay Thomas Show.
Because sometimes you just need to vent. We can help. The best talk in the Valley. 970 WDAY and WDAY.com.
Hey, it's the Jay Thomas Show. We are live at OutletRecreation.com, and that is their name. It's also how you find them online at 45th and Main. All kinds of goodies down here. We're visiting with Raul and Octavio Gomez. We were talking about Taco Brothers and unbelievable Mexican food. We're going to talk a little bit more with them coming up in the next half hour. We're also going to be giving away the big Father's Day package, the $1,300 Montblanc watch, as well as the $90 gas card from Stop and Go. I'm looking at the box in front of me. It's packed with little registration slips. We're going to be picking that in, in about 15 minutes from now. And since it's 4:30, that means we go to the area's most respected newsroom and visit with one of the finest anchors that you'll ever want to work with. And I didn't mean that, Kristen Keeley. Kristen, how are things with you?
Thank you so much, Christopher. I'm doing well. How are you?
Very, very well. I've got Raul and Octavio Gomez out here. You probably heard me say that. And of course, they're serving food out of their truck now across from Berry Hall, and they brought me these just ridiculous. It's like a Mexican hot dog. What is the name of it again?
The Vikingo.
The Vikingo. And I just, you know what? I'm not going to be. Nobody's going to be Kingo because I'm going to eat it all.
Well, feel free to bring some back to the station for those of us who are stuck down here.
That's right. Hey, what's going on this hour, Kristen?
Coming up on the news tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to tell you a little bit more about a new climate study which shows North Dakota and Minnesota, despite our wicked winters, that they are warming up at a much faster rate than other states. We talked to our resident expert climatologist, meteorologist, Daryl Richardson, to hear his take on it and find out exactly what it means. Should we be worried? Are we okay? And an interesting take on it for sure. Also coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to be talking about a new round of garage break-ins reported throughout the region. And we're going to tell you a little bit about a really neat program going on in Enderlin this weekend. When we think of the Cowboys, we think of the Wyatt Earps and the big guys with the big guns hanging on. But you'll be surprised to see who's in the windows doing, or in the woods rather, doing an old-fashioned shootout coming up this weekend in Enderlin. And also coming up tonight, after more than 8 inches of rain in Cannon Falls, Minnesota, the community there is scrambling to protect homes and businesses from big flooding from 2 rivers there. They're getting it from 2 different areas. We'll tell you how the flood fight is going in Cannon Falls coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.
Storm Tracker Weather.
Good afternoon, Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler. Weather upcoming for tonight, keeping my eye on some showers and thunder showers, fairly weak ones this afternoon. Out in the central and western parts of North Dakota, should be gradually building in. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a gorgeous evening here. It may begin to cloud up a little bit later this evening here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, but no rain expected on your evening plans, so have a good evening. It's going to be nice. There will likely be some clouds and some showers and thunderstorms building in overnight, especially toward morning, and I think we'll probably wake up to what will start out as a rainy day, but I think that rain won't last all day. It should gradually clear out. It's not going to be the nicest of Saturdays. The afternoon will turn windy, and it will stay pretty cool in the 70s, but I think most of the rain should be in and out of the area in the morning, maybe up into the midday hours. Saturday night, Sunday, we got some great weekend weather, lots of Well, clear skies Saturday night and lots of sunshine on Sunday. Sunday temps will be back up into the low 80s, and our next chance of rain after tomorrow morning won't be until Sunday night and Monday with some scattered storms. So most of the weekend actually is going to be okay. Saturday, not the best day with some morning rain and afternoon winds. Sunday looks absolutely fantastic. Full forecast detail tonight, 5, 6, and 10 on WDAY. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Hey, thanks a lot, John. Let's take a look at the gold and silver prices at this hour. Gold at this time is at $16.26 and 70 cents. That's $1,626.70. That is up $3.40. Silver on the upside as well, up a dime. It is at $17.14 at this time. For all your gold and silver, check out Mindak Gold Buyers in the Moorhead Center Mall.
For over a century, Bolger Funeral Home has been committed to providing the highest level of care at your time of need. That's why at Bolger Funeral Home, you will always work directly with one of our highly skilled licensed funeral directors. From pre-planning through aftercare and grief counseling, Bolger Funeral Home is with you every step of the way. To learn more about licensed funeral directors and about all of the Bolger Funeral Home services, call or log on to bolgerfuneralhome.com today.
Over 5 million people in the United States, many of them older, have a heart condition known as atrial fibrillation, or AFib. I'm North Dakota State Representative Kathy Hawken. Women in Government urges you to learn the symptoms of AFib: palpitations, trouble breathing, chest pain, dizziness, fainting, or fatigue. Treatment for AFib can return the heart to its normal rhythm and sufferers to active lives. Visit womeningovernment.org. That's womeningovernment.org.
If your busy home needs new carpet, don't miss Shaw Floors Celebrate Your Home Sale at Carpet World, offering soil and stain-resistant Ansel Nylon by Shaw Floors. Ansel Nylon Carpet by Shaw Floors. Green by nature, fashionable by design. Hurry, this offer ends soon, so come to Carpet World to view our full line of Ansel Nylon Carpet by Shaw Floors, and be sure to ask about our Buy Now, Pay Later promotion. Carpet World, where we put the world at your feet, 17th Avenue Southwest, or go to carpetworldfargo.com.
Let's face it, you're busy. Work, home, family. 970 WDAY has the news you need to keep you informed around the clock. 970 WDAY and WDAY.com.
Gabriel sitting in for Jay Thomas, the Jay Thomas Show. It is 4:35. Let me hear this for a second, Larry.
I don't care about that. You got a new food. I like that. I have grown and a burning desire. Let me stand next to
drinking a Mexican Coke, eating some delicious Mexican food. Life is good, my friends. I am talking with the multi-talented Raul and Octavio Gomez. They have the same last name because, say it with me, they're brothers. That's how it works. And look who's on the line. We have got, Larry, let's bring her up, Cindy Gomez. Cindy, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Jay Thomas Show, even though it's Christopher Gabriel. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm just listening very proudly to my brother talking about the delicious food. And then I heard them say that Broadway, and I'm thinking, no, that's 124 North 8th Street. I thought, I tell them and make sure
Did you say Broadway? I don't know.
You know what? Cindy, they may have said that, and the reason is, or maybe I said that because I'm so distracted by how delicious this food is. I might, for all I know, I said it was in Manitoba.
I can totally understand. I know everyone in there is maybe distracted because of the food. That's why I'm calling to make sure you all know where we are, 124 North 8th Street, and that you guys have to mention the ridiculously amazing hours that you have, because Thursdays through Saturdays, that food truck is open until 3 a.m. From 7 p.m. till 3 a.m. You're not going to find anything that delicious at that time.
Yeah, when things close up downtown, we end up, we're one of the few places that are still going to be open late night. And, there's really nothing that has our flavor profile that's going to be open in downtown.
No, that's a very good point. I can hear it now. I can hear other restaurant owners downtown now going, "Damn those Taco Brothers!" Hey, Cindy, let me get the take from you, since I've got Raul and Octavio here, and obviously it's only been a week, but just judging by the food that I have in front of me, it's going to be a wild success, and I love operations like this where it's family. Doing family recipes and doing food that is cultural and it's community. Cindy, give me a sense from your point of view of what it's like with the whole family kind of doing this together.
Well, I really love that we're able to pull together and help each other on all of our projects. I mean, as you probably know, I've worked with Raul as a High Plains Reader. We've always helped each other as family members. My mother always raised us telling us that as brothers and sisters that we are all that we have, and
right.
that we should always help each other no matter what. And so it's been a really beautiful thing to watch it grow and to take off, and the love that we're receiving from people in Fargo Moorhead for this authentic Mexican food is amazing. We've had a lot of chefs and a lot of restaurant owners coming by to try the food and give us props in the community, which we really appreciate.
Well, and of course, for those of you that know the name, people are asking about it privately in our Gabby Lounge. We've gotten some emails. People wanting to know, is this the Raul Gomez and Cindy Gomez from High Plains Reader? And that answer is?
Yes.
Yes,
it is.
Of course it is. What are the odds that there'd be a Raul and Cindy, brother and sister, and, oh, by the way, they don't work for the High Plains Reader. Hey, Cindy, thanks so much for weighing in. Great job to you guys. And I've told Raul and Octavio that I'm going to have them back on in a couple of months to check in just to see how things are going as we work our way towards the end of the summer, getting into the school season.
Yes, and one more thing.
Sure.
I didn't mention the Mexi corn. And it is one of the most delicious things you will ever eat. It's like an appetizer, a snack. But during the month of
It's the way
June,
we eat
people
corn.
mention the promotion. They will get a free Mexi corn with their purchase. And
Wow.
it is a Chipotle mayo-covered corn with Parmesan cheese. It's really delicious.
It's amazing.
Cindy, thanks for weighing in. Have a great weekend. And always nice to get the female family perspective about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, all right, so people are commenting to me and writing these little private notes saying, we'd love to have him here, we'd love to have him there. And I know you covered that a little while ago, but I want to address it a little bit more. You know, when you have Meals on Wheels, even though it's not, the traditional Meals on Wheels, but that's what you're doing, how do you think, as you look ahead, just speculate a little bit, how do you think you're going to deal with that? Will you do guest appearances somewhere?
Well, I think we could. Like my brother said, we've been invited to a lot of places. A lot of people have been coming to us right now, so it's almost like they know they're going to find us there when we get there.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're there all the time. I mean, seriously, we've been working these crazy hours and just putting everything that we have into it. And simultaneously, I think Octavio's taking the brunt of it because I have to do the reader as well.
Yeah.
And so it's like I take one hat off and I put on the other one.
Well, I'm guessing, and you alluded to this a little bit earlier, but stuff made from scratch product coming locally?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, and that's another thing is we're going to try and work with some CSA food, too, to try and get the very ultimate in freshness.
Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah. You can come and watch your guac being made.
It's made. That's great.
That's how fresh it is.
And to order, too, for a lot of the guac stuff.
Well, it's interesting because when you go to farmers markets, the ones that I'm most familiar with are the St. Paul and Minneapolis farmers markets. And St. Paul has a limit of, to be local means 100 miles or less to St. Paul. The Minneapolis market, unless it's changed, they'll say grown locally, but that locally might be locally to Eureka, Nevada. And then it's brought out to the farmers market. And so they're not lying per se, and a lot of farmers markets around the country do that. Right. And so local has got to mean local. And CSAs, that's a fantastic thing if you're looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for us, too, because we are constantly trying to change things on our menu. We want to keep our things like our pico as fresh as possible.
Sure.
And those flavors, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with stuff that you buy at a grocery store. It's all fantastic food. But there's something special about when you get a tomato, like an heirloom tomato, and you make something with that. It takes your flavors over the top.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want our customers to walk away with an experience that they're saying, man, I've never had anything like that before.
And on this that I've been eating, what kind of a sour cream was that?
That's sriracha sour cream.
Okay, let me just tell you.
I want to call it the bro sauce, but, whatever.
Well, sriracha, that sounds much more like you're on the Food Network. The thing about it, going real technical with that, is that I'm not a sour creamer. I don't. And I saw that on there, and I knew it was, but I thought, okay, this is clearly some sort of pepper or something flavored sour cream. And I've learned you just jump in.
Just go for it, yeah.
You just jump on in, and it was the whole thing blends together beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Listen, it has been Delightful. Larry, let me give you a heads up. We're going to pause early today because I know we've got the big giveaway coming in a little bit in a couple of minutes. We're going to pause early just to give you kind of we call that alerting your producer down line. But listen, Raul Gomez, Octavio Gomez, Cindy Gomez, off in the distance. Great food. Much success to both of you and the whole family. And I look forward to having you back in a couple of months. We'll just kind of catch up with you and find out what changes to the menu have been made and what are you doing events now? Are you doing that kind of thing? We'll just check in with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Christopher. We really appreciate you having us on.
Gentlemen, it is my pleasure. And thank you for bringing the great food down. We really appreciate that as well. Pardon me. This is Christopher Gabriel, and this is the Jay Thomas Show.